Hi, welcome to my channel Ruby Stedman. Today I'll be teaching you how to loom knit this beautiful super scarf. It's made of leftover yarn. In a video before I show you how to attach those ends together, and today I'll be teaching you how to use those leftover, and from mine I created this beautiful super scarf. So here is the listing material you're gonna need to make. To make this super scarf, I'm gonna use some leftover yarn that I have at home from other projects. So this one is a pink. It's a little bit darker, just not by a lot, than the pink that I have here in this cake that I made. So I'm gonna weigh this one, and I have 41 grams, and this will be for the fringes. And these three weigh 315 grams. So if I don't have enough of this 315, I will grab some of my new ball of yarn and I start using them, but at the end I will let you know if I use only 315 plus the 41 for the fringes or I use more. Okay, this is gonna be a loom scarf, so you will need a loom. And for me this one is too small, but if you just have one of these, you can make yours a narrow scarf. But the tendency for this year is the very wide and long scarves. So this one have 18 pegs and this one 32. So I'm gonna be using from 20 to 22 of this one in here, at the pink one. If you don't have a loom and you want to make this scarf, I'm gonna leave you a link of a video that I did a while back on how to make a loom. Okay, and you're gonna leave the link in here. You're gonna see an eye, you click in there. So I'm gonna use this one. You're gonna need a loom hook. If you don't have one of these hooks, you can use a crochet hook at 3.5 millimeters, tapestry needle and scissor, and I'm gonna use this notebook to wrap around for my fringes. So what I'm gonna do is use it this way, the long way, okay, because I want very long fringes, okay, like this. So I'm gonna start with already fringes on my scarf. So I'm gonna do 2 strands per fringes. So I'm gonna need, if I do 22 pegs, I will need 44 strands for one side of the scarf and 44 for the other one, okay? So let's start making our super scarf. Something that I wanted to mention is that this is one of the stitches that you don't see the color change. Either the color changing in the middle and the side, at the beginning or the end of the scarf, you get the change at the other color and you don't have the seam in that part, okay? It looks like you done the stripe from the beginning of each row, okay? I decided to do mine of 26 peg because I don't want to do it of 20 or 22 and at the end wish I have done it a little bit wider. So when I finish my 26, it will end up like a 22, okay? Because these always tend to shrink a little bit, okay? So here I have 2 strands that I already wrap around my notebook, and I'm gonna do a slip knot to create my fringes. So we're gonna start with a row of fringes. So I'm gonna wrap around my finger like this, and with the crochet hook I go to pull them out. It's easier that way they are nice and even. Okay, tie them up and you have your fringe done. I already have my other 25 for a total of 26. Here I place a strand of yarn that I have there to mark which are the ones that I'm gonna finish with. But I'm gonna start to put my fringes on those, okay? And then I can move these. I know this is a little bit long to be recording back and forth, but I want this scarf to be nice and wide. So you're gonna come here, you're gonna start from here through the bottom up, and you're gonna put one strand as you French in one side and the other to the other side. Okay, you're gonna hook them through like so, and like this. I can remove this, and I'm gonna continue placing my fringes all the way to the beginning. I want to give you a little trick, is to grab a pen and remove the back and the front if you have one of these, and you get a little tube like this, and it's to pass your yarn through here, and then you'll be working with this and it's much easier. Okay, it had to be the one with a little tube like this. Okay, it'll be like this, and it'll be easier to work between the pegs with this. Okay, here I did a slip knot here, and we're gonna start from here, you see, like this, and we're gonna start passing these two here, the two first one like this, and then you're gonna skip the next one. You're gonna go here and you're gonna straight up, you see, skipping these two, and the same, you're gonna skip two, one on the bottom, one on the top. It's like creating an N. You see what you're doing? And with this it's nice and easy because your finger don't get in the way in between. You see? You're gonna do this all the way to the end, like an N. So I realized for this it had to be odd numbers, so I added one more French here. So I'd rather to have one extra. Well, if I continue, I'll have the entire loom, and then I have one less. So here I'm at the end, number 27. I'm gonna wrap from here and here, and then now we're gonna do the ones that we left without working. Okay, those ones there, we're gonna pass our yarn. Okay, doing a reverse N backwards. So you're gonna do this all the way to the end, and it will look like this. Now we're gonna start casting off the stitches, and we grab the one in the bottom. This one is the pink that we did the fringes, those loops. You're gonna pass them to the top of the white, and you have to make sure that you do every single one of them. Okay, so it's very easy. You're gonna continue in one side and then the other side, and like so. Here I'm showing you every single peg. I have to cast them off. Okay? Here we are almost at the end, at the first row. So like you see, it's very easy. It's a very easy stitch, and it looks amazing at the end. You'll be very happy with the result, okay? So I'm gonna show you again. You go straight up, and you continue creating like the letter N, up and down, always skipping 2 stitches in between the one that you are wrapping the yarn around. You see, you always have to leave 2 in between, in the way from left to right, and when you come back from right to left, you are doing those that you left behind without work, okay? And sorry, I'm a little bit off camera here because I'm very concentrated on my work. So you're gonna wrap around from the bottom up and coming back again to work those pegs that are empty with only 1 strand. You always have to have 2 strands on each peg. So I'm not an expert with looming, but I'm trying to do my best to show you how I'm making my scarf, okay? So again, we're gonna cast off the one under, pass it through the one at the top. Once you do the first 3 on each side, it's easier. You can let go to the yarn and you can continue casting the one under, passing through the one on the top. And I found that it's easier to push down a little bit the yarn. It's easier to pass the one under to the one on the top. So you're going to continue doing this all the way to the end on both sides. Here you do the rest of these. I like to go back and forth from one side to the other one. That way the yarn is with a nice tension in the stitches. Once I pull them off, you finish those. And then I'll show you one more time. You see, you go to the top, bring to the, skipping the next, creating the end, going up and down. It's a very easy stitch and it's a beautiful result. It's always the same repetition. Now I back again to fold the one under, passing through the one on the top. Okay. It's a very easy scarf to do, and it looks like you are knitting the scarf with 2 needles instead of a loom. Okay. The stitch is like 2 net and 2 purl. What we are doing. You start to see the stitch, and in here at the end. Look, it tends to go like this. It's already start to gather. And in here I'm gonna lose this here, the slip knot, pass to the bottom, and that's it. That will continue growing there. Okay. Again, you go straight up, you see? It's only through the outside end, creating your ends back and forth. Skipping always, working in 2 stitches, skip the next 2, working the next ones, skip the next one. And that's why you need odd numbers for this stitch. And with a little tube, it make it very, very easy to work, because the fingers usually get too tangled up with the pegs, and with the thin tube you can go around the peg with no problems. You see, you're creating back the ends, working those pegs that you left without yarn, and now they are having 2 strands on each peg. You work this all the way to the end, and again you will be casting them off, the one under passing through the one in the top, and this is the entire stitch that we're gonna do in our scarf. To know if you're doing this right, the stitch, you have to look, because in between these two you have a hole straight down like that, and then this side and the opposite end, you see where these two are on the post here, and this one is empty here in the front. You see, you have the hole in the front, okay, like in a zigzag. So after you wrap your yarn, you have to look a couple of times, making sure that you wrap it right before you start casting off your stitches, because it's better to unravel that row and know that you make a mistake halfway your work. Okay, so in here you will have these two together here and the hole in the front, and here these two together and the hole in the front. Okay, and it look like 2 net 2 purl stitch. It look really nice. Pretty much I'm almost ready for the next color. It will be showing up probably in the middle of this. It will be the next color, but I will show you when I change color. Well, when the yarn change color. Exactly like I say. Here already in the same row, the yarn already changed color to the pink. And I'm making sure that I don't have any strand where I don't supposed to. So the first one, I'm going to pass this one to secure my yarn, and this one here, and this one here, and that one is secure there. So I can continue first on this side and then the other side. Here is what I've done so far, and it looks amazing. If it wasn't because it's me doing it and I know that they are just piece of yarn, I would think that this is done, you know, like, I don't know, the yarn came this way because I don't have any tails or anything, and exactly that they change color at that amount of stitches, because you don't see the seam where one row of one color ends and the other begins. And that's why I recommend from pieces of yarn work in Loom. Okay, that's the best way to use those ends. Look, you see, for example, here the gray change here, you see, from the purple to the gray, and you'll see after I done a big piece of the gray, they don't look like it was here in the center. It look like in here that most of these I start the next color here, but you don't see it. So it looks fantastic. So this is the best way to use those leftover yarn, and the scarf starts to look amazing. So I'm gonna continue. I'll show you that part, and I think I'm gonna do as well a hat and a loom because it looks netted. For those ladies that don't know how to knit and know how to loom, this is perfect. Here I want to explain you one more time, like in slow motion kind of thing. You see, you're here, your strand of yarn is here, you go straight, and you bring it here and do the first end, you see, and then go the next one, like this. So the best guide is these little holes here, you see, and then that you have 2 in here and 2 in here, okay, and one go into the left side, and then this one in the bottom go in the right side. Plus, if for example you make a mistake and you do this one like this, you see, this strand of yarn is covering that hole there, so that's wrong. And this help a lot, this and I hold it here a little bit to create the same tension for all the stitches. And it's fast. You see? Because my finger don't touch anything, it's just like this. Here is where I did the change of color and you don't see a seam. It look perfect, seamless. So it's amazing. I love what I seen so far. So when I finish this one, I will start with the next one. You see this one finished with the white. I will start with the next one that begins with a pink. That's any of these begins with a pink. And I will do the Russian knot again. That way I get a very strong and seamless join between the two colors. But this scarf gonna be my winter scarf this year. It look amazing. Love it. These look fantastic for a sweater as well. Amazing, amazing. This is what I've done so far, and I love this scarf. It look amazing. Each person that seen this, me working in the scarf, can believe that is leftover yarn. So yeah, this is for another project. This purple, the black, the blue, the pink, and I think it's the white. Yeah, and the white is from a little baby sweater that I made. And I have all that leftover yarn, and that's what I have in here. It's fantastic. So some of them are a little wider than other ones. Like for example, this gray here is very wide, and this one less wide, and this one. These three are the first one that I did, and they are really nice because they're almost the same width, but the rest are different. So, and almost here done. I have the desired length for my scarf, and I finished with the white, the same as I start with the white and pink, but this time is with white and black, the other end, and gray, the darker colors. So now we're gonna cast off our stitches, and I use I have this little bit of one of the balls in here, and 23 grams left of the 315 that I use for this part of the scarf. So now we're gonna cast off the stitches. To cast off, you're gonna need a crochet hook, and you're gonna pull those two first stitches, and you have to have your fringes already cut for this side. So I already have mine. I'm gonna pass my yarn through this loop, and I'm gonna pass two tails to one side and two tails in the other side, like this. You see? Now I got to even them up straight up, that way they are the same length. And I'm gonna do a knot here at the end, this time with the tails. I'm wrapping the tails to create the knot, and this part will be exactly the same as the other end when we start our scarves. Okay, you have to secure very well these knots, because if one of these go, your entire scarf will fall apart. So now I go again for the next two. I'm going to have 1 and 2, and again I'm going to pass my 2 strands of yarn that I have here for my fringes. Pass 2 tails to one side and the other 2 and the other side, and you have to even them up to create your knot. That way they are nice and straight and even. Okay, so it's very easy to do this entire project and very fast. This scarf I did it in like 3 afternoons. And it's a very long scarf. It's a super scarf. So you see, I secure very well the knots, and these ones are exactly the same as the one I did on the beginning. So I will show you here. That way you see them, they are exactly the same. Okay. So you're going to continue doing this all the way to the end, creating your fringes and securing those stitches. Like I say, one of these go, your entire project will go. So you have to be very careful when you're doing this part, okay? And making sure that you have a very strong knots. I'm gonna continue doing this all the way to the end, and I will show you the end result. Once you finish to do all the fringes, you will have this loose tail here, and this is the one that you have to secure very well, because this one is the one that will unravel everything. So you're gonna pass through here, do a knot here, and then with the tapestry needle you're gonna lose this tail very well inside here. Okay, so I finished my scarf. I lose the 2 tails. Who say from pieces of yarn you can create something gorgeous? Because this scarf, I love the result and it's amazing, and this is just from leftover yarn. Okay, so the scarf measure 190 centimeters, 1.9 meter, almost 2 meters. That is without measuring the fringes. Okay, so if you measure the fringes, will be over 2 meters long. The amount of yarn that I use, this is what I have left over from the fringes. From the 41 gram, I use 33. And from the 315 gram for the rest, I use 292 grams. Okay, I had 23 left of this mix. So that will be another project with mixing that one as well. And the width is 27 centimeters or 10.5 inches. That is without stretching it like this. Okay. So now I'm gonna model this for you, and I will show you the end result. well, this is the end result, and I love this super scarf. This will be my scarf for this winter. So I hope you guys like it, and give it a thumbs up, and subscribe to my channel if you are not already a subscriber. And if you make this piece and you want to send me some picture, you can do it through my Facebook page, Ruby Stedman, or you can find me in my Instagram, Ruby Stedman Crochet. Please share my video with friends and family, that way you help me grow here in YouTube. I wish you have a beautiful day. Bye.